Welcome to all of my friends to my YouTube channel. This is Armenian. Watch my awesome takeoff over here where I nearly eat crap. Oh yeah, right there. Just a little bumpy treat. So today's flight was basically recorded using my GoPro Hero 3 Black camera at a setting of 1440p at 30 frames per second. I basically hooked up my GoPro adapter cable to the GoPro, and that guy's throwing a frisbee right there. It's a pretty sweet little shot there. Yeah, so basically I got my GoPro plugged into my FPV transmitter, and I'm basically transmitting my GoPro footage down to my goggles, and I'm also recording at the same time. And I went through about 4 battery packs today, and it worked out really well. And I really liked the video quality, and turned out pretty decent. I'm still kind of trying to get the hang of the FPV thing. It was actually kind of windy this morning, so you can see I'm kind of bobbling around like up and down. You could see I mean, right there, just looking at the flags, you could see the wind. It was kind of dying down a little bit, which helps, but I'm actually probably going to go out a little later today when it dies down even more, so I can do some more low flying action here. I think what I'm doing here is I'm kind of sizing up these trees and basically trying to thread the needle into the hole, or whatever you want to call it. It's kind of tricky, but I'm still working on it. You can see the wind again up there. Yeah, here's a little opening right here. I'm looking for openings and stuff like that to fly through, and what you're seeing here in this video is exactly what I'm seeing in my goggles, with the exception of the HD quality. But for the most part, I can see really well with the goggles, and I can make out like those little saplings and stuff like that. And like there's a gap right here, and I'm basically just flying right between it. It is kind of tricky, and you know, you just got to be careful. I was kind of fighting the wind a little bit. Plus, I'm also using the gimbal, so whenever I move the stick, the aircraft moves around, and I have to kind of compensate. This is a nice little area that I found to fly in, and I wanted to practice some of the low flying stuff here. As you can see, there's a walking bridge back there in the corner attached to a recreational center. There does happen to be a gym inside there where people can go and hoist. I used to be a member there. However, I quit that recreational center and went to a much larger gym. This is me right here, sitting in my home base. I think what I'm trying to do is take my hand off the stick there. Yeah. Not easy to do when you don't have GPS lock. I did have GPS disabled to prevent any type of interference. I think right here is where I start playing around and flying underneath the bridge and testing it out. And this is my first time doing anything like this. Is kind of tricky. You can see I got a little too low there, but luckily I didn't hit anything. And some people watching down there. I wonder what was going through those people's minds when they saw my quadcopter come zinging out from underneath that bridge with the camera recording and all that. For the most part, people think it's pretty cool. But yeah, here we go. I was actually expecting the video signal to drop out when I went underneath that little bridge, because 5.8 gigahertz apparently doesn't penetrate buildings or trees or walls that well. But I didn't even lose my feed when I went through there, which is really cool. I did it several times, but I think if I were in like heavier brush and stuff like that, I think it would probably break up. So, I just gotta watch that video. And altitude is your friend. Still fighting a little bit of wind. I think I'd do a punch out. Is that what they call it? Where you kind of just pin the throttle and go up and get a little bird's eye view. The video looked exactly like this in my goggles. It looked excellent. I mean, I could see everything, and it wasn't breaking up either. When you go higher, it gets clearer because you don't have anything in between you and your aircraft. And those Spironet antennas really work well too, a lot better than those dipoles that come with the goggles. Yeah, so I'm kind of watching the elevation here. It's kind of tricky when you're up real high and you're basically trying to look at the ground. You can't really tilt your head and look down, so you're kind of just trying to judge where things are and try not to come down on anything or fly up into anything. And luckily, I haven't crashed or anything yet, but I'm sure I will. There's a little walkway that goes. Oh, never mind. I'll get back to that in a minute. Those pine trees that go around the backside there's two walkways that go through those trees. You can see them there on the left. I didn't really notice it too well, I guess, with the video, and it looked like there's some branches and stuff in there, but maybe one of these days I'll try to fly through that, see how it works out. This is another shot here. So yeah, I'm kind of there's more trees in this area, and it's kind of tricky, looking at the branches and stuff, and you're basically trying to thread this little quadcopter through these openings and stuff like that. So it gets kind of funny. This guy's talking to me over here on the right. I have no idea who it is. I got these goggles on. I'm like, I think he's asking me if I'm flying that helicopter over there. I'm like, yeah. But for the most part, people think it's really cool. You can see all these little saplings over here in the video, and all of the trees. Like there's a sapling coming up right here. Barely see it. I could actually make that out in the goggles. It's not like really clear, but I could tell when I'm coming up to like a sapling or something like that, and I can pretty much get out of the way if I need to. The video is really good here too. I wasn't like getting any type of interference, just flying in and out of the trees. It was doing really, really good. Really, really happy with the Fatshark Attitudes. Looks like I'm doing line of sight here. Yeah, I took my goggles off here. One last shot of the American flag and the Texas flag there. You can see all the wind blowing in. Getting a little too close there. I think what I'm doing is I'm trying to eye out these little openings in between these trees and try to basically figure out some sort of a flight route through them. It's really cool. I've never done anything like this before. I guess I'm not really taking too many big risks with this because I'm still kind of feeling out the controls and the whole FPV thing. I just started doing this stuff last week, so I think it's going to take me a little bit more time, and I'm actually looking at picking up another quadcopter here within the next week or two just to have as a backup, and maybe something a little more tougher than the 350. So if I crash or something like that, it won't be, I won't have to replace the whole body and stuff like that. Here's some more looks like a little family here. They're kind of interested in seeing what was going on. I think what I'm doing here is I'm trying to take my goggles off. Yeah, there we go. Got the goggles off. Now I'm back in the line of sight. I can bang the stinks around on this thing like with line of sight real easy. I mean, you're just looking at the aircraft right there in front of you, so it's really, really easy to fly. Super easy. This video is all shot at 1440p, so when I rendered the footage, it basically clipped a little bit of the video from the top and the bottom, which is cool. But I had to put it in 1440p mode because that'll give me a full field of view in my goggles. But it worked out real good. I have no idea what I'm saying here. I look retarded. Little antenna sticking off my head, but that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and leave me some comments or likes or whatever, and I'll talk to you guys soon.